What is going on, guys? This is JP for Ready.Set.GO and welcome back to another sports video. Today we'll be taking a look at who are my top 5 running backs heading into the 2020 season. But before we get started, if you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe as we try to hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers before the year's end. Now, let's head right into the video. Alright guys, so before we head straight into our top 5 list, I want to go ahead and talk about 2 honorable mentions who were barely edged out, starting off with Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb pretty much possesses everything you want in a running back. He's got power, he's got speed, elusiveness, and was just slightly edged out of the top 5 due to the fact that he has another running back who's just as talented eyeing for more touches this year, and that is running back Kareem Hunt. If it wasn't for that, Chubb would have easily made the top 5 list. And the second honorable mention I want to talk about is Minnesota running back Dalvin Cook. Cook last year had probably the best season of his career and was a huge reason why the Vikings were able to beat the Saints in last year's wildcard battle. The reason he did not make this list is because of how injury prone he is, but he's got all the talent in the world and explosiveness to put up huge numbers for this team, and I would not be surprised if he makes the cut by the end of this upcoming season. So now that we've gone over our honorable mentions, let's head right into our top 5. On number 5 on our list, we have Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott has been a very productive running back ever since entering the league, accumulating 5,405 yards rushing and averaging around 4.6 yards per tote since entering the league back in 2016. Elliott has also rushed for over 1,300 yards in 3 of his 4 seasons in the NFL as well, and almost hit 1,000 yards in 2017, even though he only played 10 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. And if his resume wasn't impressive enough, Elliott does not possess any glaring weaknesses in his game either. Even though Elliott is a great player, talent-wise, a lot of his production can also be attributed to the fact that he has ran behind an above-average offensive line in all 4 seasons in the NFL, and has been surrounded with decent weapons that don't necessarily allow defenses to deploy their full attention on the talented running back. But now that Mike McCarthy has taken over the play call duties and Dallas drafting arguably the best wide receiver in this past draft to an already talented receiving core, Elliott should once again wreak havoc on the league this year and could be looking to have a career year in 2020. Number 4, we have last season's leading rusher, Titans running back Derrick Henry. Henry was drafted in the same year as Ezekiel Elliott out of the University of Alabama, and coming into the league, Henry didn't have the same explosive start as Elliott. In both their rookie years with their respective teams, Elliott went over 1,600 yards in his rookie year, while Henry was able to muster 490 yards rushing and 110 carries on 15 games of action, meaning that Henry was averaging around 4.6 yards per carry behind an offensive line that is not nearly as good as the Cowboys back then. After his rookie season, in each of his next 3 years, you can see Henry's stats gradually go up as his carries increased, and so did his yards per carry, with the exception being in 2017 where Henry carried the ball 176 times for 744 yards, and his yards per carry slightly dipped to 4.2 compared to his rookie year. Last year though, Henry had a career year where he exploded for 1,540 yards on 303 carries, and he followed those numbers with 5.1 yards per carry as well. While those numbers are eye-popping numbers, some of it could be attributed to a much improving offensive line. Although the truth is, Henry is a really hard guy to take down at 6'3", 247 pounds, and is the king of yards after contact as a result of such monster measurements. According to USA Today, Henry accumulated a mind-boggling 1,268 yards after contact last season, meaning that Henry literally bulldozed his way to the rushing title. Make no mistake here, the Titans are getting more dangerous each year, and as the Titans get more dangerous, so will Henry. Landing number 3 on our list is Saints running back Alvin Kamara. Kamara was one of those running backs that I did not see coming in terms of having success so fast in his career. I don't think anyone saw Kamara producing the numbers that he has produced so far, especially through the passing game, which is the area that I consider Kamara to be at his best. Kamara has yet to hit the 1,000 rushing mark so far in his career, but history says that if he were to have just a tad more touches going his way, he could easily hit that mark because Kamara has not averaged below 4.6 yards per carry so far. On the other hand, if we take a look at Kamara's numbers on the receiving end, you can see just how consistent his numbers are throughout the years, as he has amassed 81 catches in all 3 of his seasons and 2,068 yards on the air throughout the process. To give you perspective, Kamara has accumulated 2,408 yards on the ground and less than 500 touches throughout his 3-year career in the NFL. And for him to put up almost those same numbers through the air with just 243 catches is just insane. Barring any injuries, Kamara will keep racking up yards in scrimmage with relative ease on a Saints offense that is loaded with weapons on all cylinders. He is obviously going to have some touches taken away by Latavius Murray, but as he's shown in the past, his production will not suffer too much because of it. Landing number 2 on our list is former 2018 Rookie of the Year, New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley. Barkley had a dip in his numbers last year due to an injury-riddled season, but either way, he still managed to have a productive year for the Giants. Last season, Barkley piled up 1,003 yards rushing along with 438 yards receiving through the air. This is pretty impressive when you take into consideration that Barkley runs behind the Giants' offensive line, which is by far the worst unit out of the other offensive lines the running backs on this list have to run behind. Remember, Barkley had already eclipsed the 2,000 yard mark in 2018 as a rookie behind an inconsistent offensive line, becoming the 3rd rookie running back in history to do so. You give Barkley an offensive line like the Cowboys or the Saints, and the guy will most likely put up top 2 running back numbers each year. You also have to take into consideration the weapons that Barkley has around him, which is atrocious to say the least. But this past draft, the Giants drafted 2 offensive linemen with 2 of their first 3 picks to help bolster their offensive line. If those picks come to fruition this year, and Barkley remains healthy as well, he should have a career year, because he is just starting to scratch the surface of his full potential, even with all the accolades he has accumulated in his first 2 years in the league, which is a scary thought for all other 31 NFL teams out there. And finally guys, the number 1 running back leading the pack this year is Christian McCaffrey. CMC has worked his way up to become the most complete running back in the game and has shattered many records in the process. As far as stats go, McCaffrey was able to pile up 2,492 yards of scrimmage last year, which came up 17 yards short of breaking Chris Johnson's record of having the most yards of scrimmage in a single season. Also, McCaffrey has been as healthy as a running back can ever be, playing in all 16 games in his 3 seasons in the league since being drafted in 2017. Now, I don't expect McCaffrey to put up those monstrous numbers like he did last season, but him being the player that he is and such a big part of the Panthers offense overall, I can see him reaching 2,000 yards of scrimmage again, or just somewhere really close to it. McCaffrey should once again make fantasy owners very happy this season barring any major injuries, and should remain the number 1 running back heading into the 2020 season and coming out of it as well. So there you have it guys, those are my top 5 running backs as we head into the 2020 regular season. If you feel like I left a player out that's more deserving of a top 5 spot, or if you have any suggestions or feedback, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I also want to give a big thank you to our current subscribers. You guys are awesome. And to those who haven't done so yet, please subscribe and support our channel. You can also show your support by donating at the link provided in the description section below. This is JP for Ready.Set.GO. Stay safe and see you guys next time.